I never thought Horikoshi would actually do it.
Katsuki Bakugo sacrifices everything. I mean, like, he's dead.
What a day.
Never back down, never what?
To think Bakugo has been dead for over a year now, leaving My Hero fans in shambles. To him finally returning spectacularly 41 chapters later. Horikoshi's bag has been pretty deep in this war arc in terms of bringing in new surprises like All For One versus All Might, Toga versus Uraraka, Todoroki versus Dabi, etc. Bakugo's death without a doubt had anime fans in disbelief as to why Horikoshi would kill him off in the first place. But don't you fuss, because Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite has made a magical recovery with an insane reveal. But let's start at the beginning of chapter 403 and slowly work our way through. Obviously, if you've been keeping up with My Hero, you know we are currently in the conclusion of All For One versus All Might. The beginning of this chapter resembles All Might's life flashing before his eyes as he thinks about his past journey up to this point. He begins questioning his purpose in life and wonders whether others would have tread the same path as he did, but realizes that after glancing at his path, it seemed oh so very significant. Unfortunately for All Might though, he's currently in the hands of one of the strongest people in the verse and is about to get packed up. With no strength or quirk left to defend himself against, All For One manages to get Stain's quirk as well and paralyze All Might, leaving him at the lowest point of his life. The military attempts to stop All For One with a fighter jet they previously used against Shigaraki when fighting Star and Stripes. But at this point, All For One is just a walking cheat code and obliterates the jet. As the fight is currently being broadcasted nationwide, everyone is watching the symbol of peace slowly get lifted up as he's about to get ripped apart by All For One. As you look around the page, you see many different people who have been impacted by All Might drastically throughout his superhero days. All For One declares no matter how it goes down, his death marks the end of an era. Hence the chapter name, End of an Era, and the key word in the title there though is and. As the next page, everyone is slowly watching All Might get ripped apart, but it transitions to someone in the distance beaming from the top of UA behind Deku, where we finally see Bakugo after a whole year being dead, finally come back to the fight to hopefully aid All Might. But I wonder if you guys caught on to the way Horikoshi linked the title to All Might and the future generation of heroes. If not, that's what I'm here for. Now back to the title. When I first read it, I generally thought it was over for All Might. We lost another GOAT and everyone was gonna lose their minds. But when I read the and ... I realized, wait a minute, what is this guy cooking over here? With the final 2 pages, the title comes back and now it's saying an end of an era and the beginning, as it focuses on both Bakugo and Deku. Upon the first read, I took it as these two are just gonna be the next, big guys to help out during the war. But now as I think about it, it's implying these two will be the next symbol of peace for when the new generation of heroes take over. Another detail I noticed is the way their kid selves both hold the cards, as Deku has his thumb over the 1 while Bakugo doesn't. The reason for this was Deku had many inspirations growing up. Even though All Might definitely was his favorite hero, he respected and loved other heroes. While Bakugo's #1 inspiration was All Might and only All Might, he only ever looked up to All Might and didn't really care about other heroes throughout the show, which is such a nice touch to this chapter. Another thing I want to point out, as we look back at this page, we see All Might say, "As for what I've done and what I saw, it seemed so significant," as we see small circles of light glowing on the floor, which represents the impact All Might has made as the #1 hero and symbol of peace. Now we go back to this panel of Bakugo and Deku, where we see them playing with the glowing balls on the floor that All Might left behind, which shows All Might's path was very significant as the very students he's impacted are about to hopefully pop off and help him out here. The level of consistency Horikoshi and his crew have been dishing out for the past few chapters have been beautiful. This event will probably be the icing on the cake and the turning point for the war arc, as almost everyone has finished their significant fights and the last 2 major roles to defeat are All For One and Shigaraki. I'm also curious if it's possible that Bakugo has awakened his quirk by some stroke of luck, because the way he drew his eyes, along with the shimmers of light from the panel of him returning, is possibly the author's way of foreshadowing a new event for our young hero. I'm also going to be kind of shocked if All Might doesn't die in these next couple chapters. How this man is still alive and kicking beats me, considering that he's gone through hell and back in way too many arcs, let alone this beatdown from All For One. I've always been looking forward to each chapter of My Hero, but now my hopes are high for the chapters to come. Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite better pop off here and not just tease us with some flashy return. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.